Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Compassion Through Conversation. I am one of your hosts, Jack Quateraro, alongside with me, Haley, Jamie Vanwater, Camilla, and our CEO, Joe Bertolami. And Joe is going to explain what our project is and what we are doing.
Mhm. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Compassion Through Conversation. So this is our senior capstone project here at Quinnipiac University. It is the peer-to-peer protected project. So this is through the McCain Institute, and basically what it is just think about it as a national competition across the country that empowers students to prevent hate-based violence through a campaign. So we're all public relations students, and for our final project, this is a way for us to implement everything we've learned from research to social media and a whole bunch of different tactics. So really looking forward to increasing awareness on hate-based violence while also implementing a call to action to students as well. So really looking forward to getting this started. And Cami, you want to explain a little bit what our specific topic is?
Yeah, so first and foremost, our main focus is to provide a call to action to hate-based violence against the Asian Americans during the coronavirus pandemic. At first, as a class, we had three topics such as Black Lives Matters. We had a topic on LGBTQ plus issues, but as a class, we decided to focus on the specific topic because we feel that it's something that is not talked about as much, and it's such a new issue that we feel that people just really need to focus on. A call to action in our community is very important, specifically here like at Quinnipiac, for this campaign, and we feel that this area of hate-based violence needs more coverage and attention, not just like everywhere in like the United States, but on campus, specifically at Quinnipiac.
Mhm. Just to go off of what Cami was saying, yeah, this is definitely an important issue that we feel deserves, more coverage. And, just to provide some stats, from March to August, there was a major spike in hate-based violence against Asian Americans, over 2,000 incidents of discrimination and hate-based violence in that community, and as well as, many economic impacts as well with, Asian American unemployment, quadrupling during that time. So it's definitely, a very relevant topic currently, and something that we are looking to, surround more conversation on. And one of the ways we're doing it, obviously, through this podcast.
Also, adding on to Joe's point, I think it's important not for only Quinnipiac University students to notice this, but also students at other universities globally, because this is a very important topic that has been shedding more light because of COVID-19 and because of coronavirus. So I think for other students to see this and even high schoolers to see this, I think it's going to be an important learning step in their daily life activities moving forward.
So we have 6 different committees to work on the project. We have the podcast group, and then we have finance, research, video, social media, and writing, which Joe's going to explain a little bit more about.
Yeah, so like Haley said, this is a project that's including, the whole class. So there's, like 25 students in our class. We're all working on this together through different committees. So obviously the podcast group is going to be releasing episodes every week for the next month or so. We have the finance committee because we actually have a budget for this project. We have $1,000 to work with that we can allocate, in multitude of different ways. The research committee has been working on different surveys, different qualitative and quantitative data for us to analyze on the topic. The video group is in charge of video content, including a final submission video, which is for the, as I mentioned earlier, the national competition that this project is. And social media, you can follow on Instagram at Compassion Through Conversation. They have been posting content this week and will continue to, every single day. And as well as the Facebook page, which is also Compassion Through Conversation. So, we're utilizing all these different committees to kind of encompass, different aspects of the project. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone is able to do.
Yeah, and I think going off what Joe was saying, I think it was really important to find what people were interested in and making this committees, because once you have someone interested in something, it's so much easier for them to work like better on what they're doing and have like a better outcome in their work.
Totally agree, Cami. And, that's part of how this podcast came to fruition. JQ, big podcaster here on campus with the Talking Big Blue with JQ, New York Giants football podcast. So, I knew he was really into this, and I think this is a great way to, kind of implement, our campaign. It's called Compassion Through Conversation, and what better way to have conversations than through, a great podcast like this.
And to add on to what you're saying, Joe, I think podcasting is a great way for people to see it visually on YouTube or any other platform like Zoom, like we're using right now, or an audio version like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I think this is just a great way for students to get out there and get involved without leaving the safety of their home. Because obviously, with everything that's going on in this world right now, obviously COVID is the biggest thing that's going on. It's going to be relevant for years to come. So I think a podcast is just the best way to do it. And obviously, having the experience, I love to take control of it and take charge. And I have 4 great co-hosts with me.
So just like continuing on with that whole idea as far as like what we're hoping to get out of this whole project. There's been a consistent theme throughout the course of this episode about that call to action that we're hoping that people ultimately get as a result of the project that we're conducting for this capstone class. So we're really hoping that people like see a greater appreciation for this issue, because ultimately it is a very, very big issue with that's very underappreciated and needs more light shed to it, not only from the aspects that we've talked about, but just like from a human element as well. Like, I mean, like it's one of those things where our name says it so well, compassion, and that's like one of the greatest traits you could show as a human being is compassion towards other people. So ultimately speaking, we're hoping to kind of like instill those values into people that may not understand the issue, as well as we hope to at the end of this project, but also like further instill those values into people that already have the same beliefs that we have as well.
Very well said. Yeah.
Yeah, so we really live like in a very divided world right now, and it's really important to have everybody come together, and especially at Quinnipiac, to get the students to come together and make it much less divided.
Yeah, and through this podcast, we also want to just like get more people to come and join us and be able to talk about what's going on. Just because, yes, we can have our own experiences and like say whatever we want, but also having people like outside of Quinnipiac, our peers or older people that work for Quinnipiac, it's really important to get their experience and their views, and that's why this podcast is so great, because we'll have their voice and their input.
So for our second episode, this is the conclusion of the first. For our second episode, we'll have on Rachel Reyes, a student from QU herself, and she'll be talking about how she feels about this topic. And it's going to shed a lot of light for viewers out there who watch this on on YouTube or on any platform out there. So I think this is going to be an extremely important episode, and it's going to be really cool for people to see, because a lot of people don't get to see what this is like. And especially at Quinnipiac, I think this is going to shed a lot of light on this topic.
Thank you. Like you said, Rachel, she is also on the executive board of the Asian American Student Association. So, creating that relationship with that organization is something we're really looking to do, throughout many of our tactics. And, podcast provides a great platform for them to talk about, these issues and, just generate more awareness overall.
That'll actually be really cool to have, because I noticed something. I'm literally on TikTok all the time, and a lot of the posts, it's like people from the Asian community posting like specific stories about what people are saying to them right now because of Corona.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, because it's honestly really messed up. And for people like us, we don't get to experience that, because it's a totally different culture for us. So this is just a great way to shed light on this topic.
Mm-hmm.